Hi everybody, this is Chris, and today we are going to talk about the batteries on the Zino 2 and the Zino 2 Plus. Can you swap them between the two quads? Yes, you can, and no, you can't. So we're going to talk about that and some of my thoughts on it and what you'll get if you try on one versus the other. So we have the Zino 2 Plus here. I also have good old Floyd, the Zino 2. But we have the Zino 2 Plus. If you notice, I have the original Zino 2 cover on it. The Zino 2 Plus cover has a hole in it, so you can line up the camera as you put it on. I went with this cover. I've got plenty of them. I decided to go with this cover because it's fully enclosed. It keeps any dust, debris, anything like that out of there. If I can fully protect that gimbal, that's what I'm going to do so I don't get dust in the moving parts, which causes you a whole bunch of problems. Which can be discussed in another video, but let's take the cover off. And then we have Floyd. We'll take his cover off too, because we're going to power both these up. So you've got, let's start with the Zino Pro Plus, or Zino 2 Plus. I'm going to do this a lot, you guys. I'm only human. You got the Zino 2 Plus. You've got the Zino 2 Plus battery, exact same size, same battery as you have in the Zino 2. Both are 3,800 milliamp hours, 15.2 volts. And everything is exactly the same with this battery as the Zino 2 battery. The only difference is they've gone and made this more of a proprietary battery now, to the point where it is programmed, and the quad is programmed to where the two have to see each other and able for it to work. So therefore, in the Zino 2 Plus, you can only buy this battery and use this battery in the quad. That's a shame, because just like the Zino Pro Plus, I've got a video on that with the batteries as well. If you want to use your good old battery from the Zino 2, you've got 3 or 4 of these laying around. Your Zino 2 is broken or it flew away, something, you can't use it, but you have the batteries. You buy the Zino 2 Plus, you can't use these batteries. They're worthless. They will not work. You can use them as power banks. You can simply just turn the battery on, use that as a power bank, but that's all it's good for. It will power the quad on, and you can connect, you can see everything within the app. But the one thing you're going to get is, you'll see up here in the top corner, you're going to get a message at the top of your app showing that it's identifying a battery that you cannot use with this quad. So it's virtually worthless, just like the Zino Pro Plus. Hubsan, I think you've gone and shot yourself in the foot here. Sure, more people are going to buy these batteries. Nobody's copying these batteries. No copycats out there yet. But again, you're probably going to do better on sales with the quad if somebody is over the fence about buying this and they already have 3 or 4 of these batteries. It's going to make the decision a lot easier to buy this if they already have batteries and they can say, wow, I can fly for hours because I've got all these extra batteries, versus, I can't use these batteries, they're no good. I have to spend more money and buy more of these batteries, which the price is not real cheap on these batteries. So it's kind of a bum deal. But between the Zino 2 and the Zino 2 Plus, so far this has been better on updating. I'm going to give this a bigger thumbs up than I give the Zino 2, because so far my experience with it, other than having a bad delivery, I'm not going to put that on the quad. I had a bad one on delivery that I think was a return. There's going to be defects out there. I just happened to get that one. This one's working. So far, everything has been very smooth with it. Flight between the two, as far as precision and stability and stuff, it's really not a big difference. They may have fine-tuned this one a little more than they did the Zino 2, but that's all stuff they could also do with the Zino 2. They're pretty much going to kind of stop doing making that a priority on the Zino 2 versus the Zino 2 Plus. The Zino 2 Plus is going to get your bigger changes. So I do expect this one to perform a little better, but we have no difference here in the cameras. Cameras are the same, gimbals, everything is all the same there. It's got a different board in it. It's got a different cable that connects to the from the board to the gimbal and camera. The cable on the gimbal side is the exact same, but to the board it's a different connector. If you're buying those cables, the original Zino 2 cable says 04 on it, and this one says 07 on it. So they are different. You should know that if you ever have to order that cable. And I do recommend, even though this one has not given me any problems and I haven't seen anybody else having a problem with them, you should get that. It's $2-3. Get that, keep it in your, actually I'm sorry, they're like $5 or $8. Keep that in your arsenal. That way, if it ever does fail you, you have the part and you don't have to wait a month to get it. So that's something I highly recommend. Now let's go on to the Zino 2 and talk about using the batteries with it. It doesn't have that little bit of added hardware or programming that says, hey, I can only fly if I recognize the chip within this battery. So therefore, you can use this battery or your original battery with it. So if you have one of these and you happen to buy the Zino 2 Plus, or you want a battery and this one's on a cheaper price sale versus this one, or this one becomes scarce and you can't find it anymore, then you can buy this battery and use it on the Zino 2. So Zino 2 has more options to use either battery. You're not locked in and stuck with it wanting to detect that specific battery. And I'll put a screenshot up as well with it connected and showing no issues with the battery. I'll put it up there. So let's just show you the Zino Pro or the Zino 2 Plus. We're going to put the regular Zino 2 battery inside of it just to show you. It will power up. It does power up and work just fine. You just can't arm the motors. Fans on, lights are all on, it's booted up. You connect to it with the app. You'll see on the app, everything is fine except for that message you get for the battery in the upper corner of the app, the upper left-hand corner of the app. Will not let you start the motors. No harm to the quad whatsoever. It's just, they've locked us out. They will not let us use any other battery, which is just silly to me. So, bravo, Hubsan, you did a great job. So, that's that. Now we'll take Floyd. Here's Floyd. Here's the Zino 2 Plus battery going into the Zino 2. Ooh, I almost thought the fan wasn't going to turn on there. But yeah, powers up just fine, and then I connect and open up the app and connect, and I see that there's no issue with the battery whatsoever. I can fly with this battery. There's no advantage to that like there is with the Zino Pro versus the Zino Pro Plus. You can use a larger battery. You need to watch that video and I'll show you exactly how you can use that battery. But there's no advantage on this one. Batteries are exactly the same. They did not make a larger battery for Zino 2 Plus, so there's no real advantage in using that battery. Only reason I would say you have that battery is if you have both quads, or if you find that battery on the real cheap and are able to purchase it at a lower price versus the other one. So you can do that for the Zino 2. So that's that. And like I said, there are hardware differences between the two, you definitely have a different main board. I can't remember now. I did look at the ESCs. I think the ESCs are different. And they also have gone and changed on the sensors on the bottom. I don't know that you'll see it on camera, but on the Zino 2 Plus, now they've got kind of a blue, let's see if we can see that glare there. It's a blue tint, where these are more like a magenta or purple tint. Yeah, right there you can kind of see it. They're kind of purple. They're darker here than they are on the Zino 2 Plus. So maybe that's enhanced and made the optic flow in your TOF sensor. Maybe that's made that operate at a more efficient rate versus the Zino 2. That would be a lens cover that you could replace. I don't know if it would be one that you could swap out. I mean, you could put it on, you could buy one and put it on a Zino 2. That it would be an interchangeable part, but I don't know if the sensors themselves are different to where it would mess up in the operation of it and give you a warning. I'm going to say they probably didn't change the sensors. This is just a guess at this point, but they probably just put a different cover on there. So that's one little nice change that you see that you think, okay, well, this is a change for a reason, and usually it's for the good. So if it works for one, will it work for the other? So you can try to improve your Zino 2 as well. So that's one little bit of information for you to keep a lookout for and see if anybody does swap them out. Maybe I'll swap one out in the future and try it. So that's it. There are hardware changes, and they've gone and made it to where it has to recognize the battery for the Zino 2 Plus only. It will not take the Zino 2 battery. So that's it, guys. I hope that you found that useful. A lot of people already know this information, but there's always new buyers that come along, new customers or new people to the Hubsan products, to where I hope this will be more useful. So hit that thumbs up on your way out. Subscribe if you're new to my channel. I'll always bring you good Hubsan Zino information, and how-tos are the biggest thing. And the next thing would be things like the batteries and firmware. This is definitely a good channel when it comes to Hubsan and their good old firmware drama. So subscribe to this channel. We'll start all over again. Thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that bell for future content and notification, and I will catch you on the next video. Peace and love.